In 2025, something strange is happening in global tourism, and the United States is at the center of it. For decades, America was one of the world's most beloved travel destinations. But this year, the pattern is breaking. Longtime allies are pulling back, and even countries with deep ties to the US are quietly changing course. The numbers aren't just shifting, they're splitting. In some places, tourism is returning. In others, business travel is collapsing. And in nearly every case, trust is eroding. Today, we reveal the top 7 countries whose relationship with the US is taking a sharp turn. These aren't random fluctuations. They're part of a deeper transformation in how the US is seen, not just as a destination, but as a symbol of values, politics, and power. Stay tuned, because the divide is bigger than you think. Number 7, Japan. Once a quiet powerhouse in US tourism, Japan is now treading cautiously. In April, Japanese tourist arrivals increased by 5%, but the real story lies beneath. In March, business travel to the US dropped by over 19%, and student exchanges declined 14%. It's a subtle but steady shift. Japanese media have raised concerns over border detainments and perceived racial profiling. NHK reported several troubling cases. One senior engineer was held for 6 hours at US Customs without explanation. This has had a chilling effect on corporate travel, especially in the tech and automotive sectors. Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs quietly upgraded its travel advisory for the US, citing social instability and advising citizens to keep a low profile. Meanwhile, Japanese outbound travel is pivoting. Flights to Singapore and Paris are increasing, while West Coast US flights are being cut back. This isn't a boycott, it's a recalibration. The cultural and economic ties remain, but the sense of security that once defined travel to America is fading. Number 6, Denmark. Denmark's relationship with US travel has become a roller coaster. In April, Danish arrivals were up 10%, but just a month earlier they had plummeted 34%. Tourism is down 45% year over year, and business travel is suffering, dropping 29% in April. Student exchanges have shifted toward Canada and the Netherlands, but the real turning point? Reports that US intelligence spied on Greenlandic independence movements, a sensitive issue for Denmark. The Danish foreign minister summoned the US ambassador, calling the revelations unacceptable. Mistrust is spilling into consumer habits. American brands like Coca-Cola and Levi's are seeing dips in sales, while Danish influencers now promote America-free shopping challenges. The US isn't canceled, but it's no longer a dream. For many Danes, it's a complicated decision wrapped in values, politics, and pride. Number 5, Germany. Germany's tourism to the US is bouncing between recovery and retreat. April saw a 15% rise in arrivals and tourism was up 23%. But in March, Germany had one of the steepest declines, down 28%, with leisure travel falling by a third. Why? A growing unease about how German travelers are treated at US borders. A 19-year-old was detained for 12 hours in New York. A musician interrogated in Texas. These stories dominated headlines. Germany's foreign ministry revised its advisory, noting that even a valid visa doesn't guarantee entry. Business travel fell 23.5%, and demand for flights to California, once a German favorite, has plummeted. Polls show 78% of Germans now view the US unfavorably. For many, the issue isn't just politics. It's about respect, dignity, and safety. Number 4, Australia. Australia isn't retreating, but it's certainly hesitating. April showed only a 1% increase in travel to the US, far below pre-pandemic growth trends. According to Flight Centre, bookings to America dropped 16%, while travel to Japan, New Zealand, and Thailand is soaring. Business travel fell 7%. The reason? Rising safety concerns and border scrutiny. The Australian government has updated its US travel advisory 3 times since April, citing issues like inconsistent airport security and concerns for LGBTQIA+ travelers. Social media is buzzing with complaints about harsh TSA checks, requests to unlock phones, and travelers memorizing legal contacts, just in case. Number 3, Sweden. Sweden has long embraced openness and cultural exchange with the US, but cracks are forming. April showed a 21.6% increase in tourist arrivals, following a 17% dip in March. The recovery? Uneven. Business travel fell 22% in April, and interest in U.S. student exchanges has declined. Germany and Canada are now preferred destinations. But the shift isn't just statistical, it's ideological. A YouGov poll revealed 63% of Swedes now view the U.S. unfavorably, due to concerns about racial justice, LGBTQIA+ rights, and climate policy. Swedish companies are postponing trips. Influencers promote value-aligned alternatives like Norway and Canada. This isn't a rejection, it's a moral pause. For many Swedes, travel is about identity, not just leisure. Number 2. France's retreat from the US is no longer subtle. In March, travel dropped 8%. In April, another 12.2%, with business travel down 13.6%. French media is openly critical of U.S. foreign and domestic policies. One outlet called 2025 the year Americans Lost Paris. Some French travelers now hide American symbols, or wear Canadian flags to avoid attention. One Parisian shared, "I used to dream of New York. Now I dream of not being mistaken for an American." Polls show 73% of French citizens no longer see the U.S. as a reliable ally. The retreat isn't just physical, it's emotional. Number 1. South Korea. South Korea, once one of the United States' most loyal tourism and education partners, is now quietly reevaluating its relationship with American travel. In 2025, tourist arrivals from South Korea to the U.S. have declined by over 18%, a drop that shocked analysts who had predicted a post-pandemic travel boom. But the bigger concern is the steep fall in student visas and business exchanges, areas traditionally driven by strong diplomatic ties and shared cultural enthusiasm. Solemnly, in April, several South Korean universities reported that interest in U.S. exchange programs has dropped by nearly 28%, with students now favoring Canada, Germany, and Australia instead. What's more alarming is the sentiment behind the numbers. Many South Koreans, especially younger generations, are increasingly disillusioned with what they see as the U.S.'s growing instability, racial tensions, and unpredictable immigration enforcement. Stories of Korean travelers being detained, questioned, or subjected to harsh secondary screenings at American airports have spread widely across Korean media. One viral incident involved a popular K-pop producer being denied entry and sent back without explanation, sparking national outrage. South Korea's foreign ministry has since updated its travel advisories, urging citizens to exercise enhanced caution when visiting the U.S., particularly in areas with a history of racially charged violence. Travel influencers are now steering followers toward destinations like Switzerland, New Zealand, and Taiwan, labeling them as safer, more welcoming, and more aligned with Korean values of respect, efficiency, and harmony. Even South Korea's national carrier, Korean Air, has begun shifting focus, cutting a few U.S.-bound routes while expanding service to Europe and Southeast Asia. The shift is not hostile and it's thoughtful. It's not loud. It's deliberate. For South Koreans, America is still a country of dreams, but also one of growing contradictions. The land of opportunity is starting to look like a land of uncertainty. And in a world where perception shapes reality, South Korea's quiet hesitation speaks volumes. Around the world, from Asia to Europe, from Africa to the Caribbean, a quiet yet powerful shift is taking place. Countries are watching, citizens are choosing, and the image of the United States, once a symbol of freedom, opportunity, and safety, is being reconsidered. This isn't about politics alone. It's about how people feel. It's about where families feel welcome, where students feel safe, and where travelers feel respected. If the trend continues, the U.S. won't just lose tourists, it may lose something far more valuable, global trust. And once that's gone, it's a long road back. If this video opened your eyes, don't scroll away just yet. Click like to help more people see this truth. Subscribe to Adventure Chuckles for deeper dives into how our world is changing and what it means for you. What country surprised you the most today? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters more than ever. Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and stay adventurous.